Route 53. Okay, so before going to the topic, so there is one service called DNS. Okay, domain name services. Okay, so what is DNS? Okay, the first thing, if you have used the internet, you have used the DNS. DNS is used to convert human-friendly domain name, such as example.com, into an IP address, such as some IP address. DNS resolve name into IP address. IP address are used by computer to identify each other on network. Okay, so IP address, you already know about the IP address. So let's say, for example, if I open my browser, okay, and if I go to the Google.com, so Google.com, see, human mind can remember the names, okay, but Google.com, when you browse it, actually you are going to one of the page, and that page is hosted on one of the server, okay, and that server has a IP address. If you want to see, you can ping Google.com. Can you see this? 142.240.250.182.4. So which IP it is? Is it a public IP address or private IP address? Come on, quickly.
It's public.
Obviously, because private means only 10 dot series, 172 dot series, and 192. IP address start from these 3 digits, the first octet, then they are private IP address. Rest every IP address is a public IP address. And when I say a public IP address, so it is hosted on the internet. Okay, so can you see the naming conversion? Who did this? www.google.com. Actually, the server IP address is this one. Can you remember this one? 142.250.182.4. Go to browser and do it. No, we cannot. We cannot do that. Why? Because human cannot read the. If I go here, HTTPS. Put the IP address. Can you see? It is redirecting me. It is giving some page error, and then when I go proceed save, can you see? It again converted to the Google.com. So what does it mean? Who is doing this conversion? So there is a service called DNS. There is a service called DNS who is converting domain name services. Okay, who is converting this IP address to the name. So name you can remember, like YouTube, Gmail, like Facebook, right? So you can remember these names. But if I give you the IP address, let's say if I want to ping youtube.com, can you see 142.250.77.174? Can you remember this? Similarly, if I ping facebook.com, see 157.240.228.35. Can you remember this? No. So let's say Nitika want to log into Facebook. So if there is no DNS, so she need to type in the browser 157.240.228.35. So which is not possible. So DNS service, DNS, it resolve the host. So how the DNS work is that we will understand. First, we will try to understand in our infrastructure how it happened. Or if you want to see the okay, before understanding Google, let's understand here in our infrastructure how it happened. Okay, so in the infrastructure, as you know, there will be a firewall, there will be a core switch, there will be multiple switches here where your end user will connect it. you will have a router here, and here we go, there will be internet. Okay, so like this the connectivity will be in the uh, organization. All the end host will be connected here. End host means all the machines, every users, and they will be connected here. Okay, so what happened is, in organization, as I told before, there will be servers. Okay, here multiple servers will be used. Okay, and the most common servers are, let's say, Active Directory, AD, then DNS, Domain Name Services Server, then DHCP, DHCP. This is something this server will assign IP address automatically. DNS, sorry, DHCP. Then you will have what is called AAA for authentication, like IAAM. We are using that service in AWS, right? So AAA is one of the servers. So in the AAA, either you can take TechX or you can take Radius server. Okay, so these are the server, ICE servers also available. So these are whatever the service I'm talking about. These are mostly the Microsoft services are used here. Microsoft server. So AAA. Then similarly, you can have something called AD, DNS, DSCP, AAA, NTP, SNMP, logging. Okay, so these servers are used here. So don't think that only one server will be there which does all this stuff. No, every in big organization there will be a dedicated server for each service. Let's say for DNS. So this server will be just take care of the DNS. Okay. Let's say, for example, what will happen for your employees. Okay, and also as you know, there will be your MPLS cloud. Okay, and which is connected to your sorry, MPLS cloud, and your branch offices are connected here. Here also one office, here also one office, here also one office. So your branch offices, they also connected here. Okay, so the user sitting here, he can access any resources here. So this is, let's say this is your head office. So you hosted there is one another server, let's say time management server. You like every user has to use the internal portal and update his times and his salary stuffs and all the holidays, applying for the holidays, HR portal. So many organizations like they this is a fixed one. You will find that this is called internal portal. It is for the employees, it is not for the external. It is for the employees, means who is working here, who is working here, who is working here. So internal portals, so there will be a web page will be created here and some database will be there. So this will be actually a server. Let's say the IP 192.168.10.10. This is the server, and they hosted on port 80. Port 80 means HTTP. The networking. Can he understand this IP address? No, he cannot understand. That's why what organization does is, they will use a DNS service. So in the DNS service, see, this is also actually connected here. This is also connected here. So in the DNS, we give an IP address. Okay, 192.168.10.10. Give the name called, let's say, HR portal. dot dot xyz.com. Okay, dot xyz.com. So now the DNS server will take that record. Okay, now you will see here in the name. So what will happen is, now this user in his laptop, in his computer, he just need to browse this one, http hrportal.xyz.com. That's it. So what will happen is, when he initiate the request, so the request will go here. First it will go for the resolver DNS. It will resolve the name to IP address, and then it will redirect to, okay boss, actually this name is going here, this guy is mapped to this name, and the user will redirect directly to the main server. Okay, so this is how it works. So now if you look at here the name, here you are saying hrportal.xyz.com. What is this? What is this xyz? So this is called a domain. Domain. Domain means, like every organization, like okay, and one more thing. See, this is, I told, this HR portal, it is internal. It is internal. And when you say a Google, it is external. Like private and public IP address, if you remember. So internal and external domains. So this domain xyz.com, it is called a domain. So first of all, you need to register. You need to register the domain here in the DNS server. That, let's say xyz is your company name, and .com is for the the domain. So xyz.com, it is your internal domain, and after that, under that domain, you can have multiple records. Let's say you are, tomorrow you have another server. Let's say time mgt.xyz.com, right? It will be having some IP address, and you are giving a record here. But xyz.com will be common, and this name will. So what will happen here is, your DNS server, it is converting name to IP address. Sorry, IP to name, name to IP address. DNS, it understand, it resolve when the request come from in the form of name, it will convert to the IP address, and when the request come from name to sorry, IP to name. So this is what the DNS for. So this is called internal DNS. Okay, internal DNS, and it is only for within organization. The people from here, they can access this. People from here, they can access. And if you look at here, they all are coming with the private IP addresses. This is network is, let's say 10 dot. This is something 192 dot something. This is 172 dot something. This is also 10 dot something. Here also 10 dot something. So they are using a private, under the private. So this is a private communication. We don't want any external person to come here. Okay, so domain, there are two types of domain. One is the internal domain. Now we will talk about the external domain. What is external domain? So let's say, okay, now what will happen, let's say you hosted in your, within your organization, you hosted one public server. Public server. And public server means, let's say you have some external employees, okay, who is working on the internet. They want to come to your organization, and they want to add some data there. Okay, let's say like 192.168 dot 10.100, this IP address. Okay, this IP address is you hosted one server and you hosted that application and you connected here. But now the question here is, can 192.168 can go to internet? No, they cannot. Can someone from internet come to 192.168? No, they will never ever. They will, because ISP don't allow the private subnet, because this IP address is reserved. So, and what is your objective? You want this server or this application to be public. So what you need to do? So you need to, first of all, you need to take another IP address. You need to buy a IP address from like various vendors are there. You need to buy some IP address. It's 154.12.6.4. So this IP address will be for the internet. It is for this server only, but you cannot put this IP address on the server. Actually, you will put that IP address in the either in the firewall or either in the router. So let's say mostly the firewall, here in the firewall we use, there is one service called NAT, network address translation. So what it does is, whenever the traffic come with the port 80, when the traffic come with the 154.6.4, please send this packet to 192.168.10.100, which is nothing but our private IP address. So let's say this guy come here, okay, and he access the internet. So the internet know that this IP address belongs to your organization. So it will hit here. When it come to the firewall will do the natting, and it will reroute. He will understand that 154 is actually 192. So he will convert that and he will send this traffic to this particular server. Can you see this NAT? Another concept you are understanding. NAT, network address translation. DNS, domain name services. DHCP, dynamic host configuration protocol. This is what in the interview they will ask. They want to understand the concept. Do you know the concept? Okay. So now what happened is, now you hosted this public IP public server and it is working fine. But now for your external user, can they need to browse 154.12.6.4? Can they remember this IP address? You have let's say in the world you have so many customers, okay, let's say amazon.com, okay, amazon.com, like you want to do some shopping. So from anywhere from the world, the people Amazon, there's they have the web services, they have like delivery services, right? They have shopping portals. So you cannot predict from where the users are coming. So if suppose instead of amazon.com, if they give some IP address 199.36.12.12, so how you are going to browse? Can you understand that? No. So how the internal DNS, right? Similarly, there are some external DNS service providers also. So just right here, there are some external service providers. So the like names, some big names are like GoDaddy.com. Okay, GoDaddy.com. This is a one. There are so many providers available. So they are the external. They are external. I will write here external DNS provider. Providers. Okay. So what they does, how, like this IP address 154.12.6.4. Who gave you this IP address? Your ISP. You have purchased this IP address from ISP that I want to host something for the internet. So you purchase this one, but you cannot host here. You again on the firewall you natted this one, that from here to when it come, then convert this to 191. Similarly, now you want to give the name to this particular thing. Let's say you decided that this 154.12.6.4, it will be name called something uh, my shopping dot xyz xyz dot, okay. This is what you decided name. So you need to go to godaddy.com, okay, and here register your public IP and the name. You need to register this service here, and it will be paid. So what will happen now once you register? This user, he need to, in your laptop, he just need to browse myshopping.xyz.com. So when it come, so the first request will go to the external server, external DNS. Then he will say myshopping.com is actually 154.12. This is for XYZ company. They will route here traffic, and here your firewall is here. They will again NAT, and finally you will reach to this one. So can you see how many services are running behind that? External DNS, then NATing, then public IP address, then finally they are reaching to some website. So this is how the whole concept of the DNS DSCP, where the entire, like, this is how the infrastructure still it is working. Some, okay, so this is some organization, what they does is like like they don't want to go externally host their DNS servers. So there are some products called F5 GTM, or even Microsoft also you can host public servers also. Okay, for that you need to have a DMZ subnet in the firewall, some DMZ subnet, and where you can host GTM, F5 GTM, and instead of this going to godaddy.com and host your website, you can host the things in within your organization, but you need to have a proper security and all. So this will happen in the big organization, where they will not rely on the external services. They will host the external services here itself, and everything will take care. All the firewall rules will be there, policies will be there. They will use the F5 load balancer to load balancer. And this application, right now I'm showing you one IP address, one server, but actually there will be multiple servers, and they will does a load balancing between that. So this is the whole picture what I have shown you. Any questions here before I move to the Amazon?
So, Nadim bhai, one question here. The DNS servers, are they limited? I mean, if there are multiple networks within an organization, do they have multiple DNS servers
Yes.
based on the network? Okay.
Yes. Let's say for example, DNS server is one here. So you have another branch. Let's say one branch in Hyderabad. One branch is in UK, which is a longer distance. One branch is in USA. One branch is in South Africa. Okay, so the resolver actually from US, let's say US. So this guy, suppose he want to do something, so he need to come to the Hyderabad and resolve that particular. So DNS is something, the big organization, they will keep the DNS here, one DNS here, one DNS here, regionalized DNS they will use. And this regionalized DNS, they will be synced to each other. Whatever you create here, after some time it will get synced to this. You will get the same entry here also, and here also. This is called synchronization. So that service happen in the DNS itself. So yes, the big organization, they maintain multiple DNS servers. Any another question?
No.
Nitika, you understand, right? Nazim, you already aware about this concept?
Yes, I'm understanding.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So now what AWS is doing here? Big question. Any question mark बराबर नहीं हुआ? Okay. So इतने सारे चीजों को AWS simplified it. Okay, what they're saying. पहले तो the first thing is you have dependency here, godaddy.com. Or sorry, I don't want to use any particular vendor name. but some external website. Okay, I can show you the, I can visit you. So this is one of the most famous website. See, domain website. Bring your business on tools, growing your business, and this. You can use their email services. You can web host. Can you see per month? Whether you want to host one or 100 website, we have got plan to keep everything running in peak per user. Okay, so I'm telling you. So this is something. There is something called uh, DNS. DNS lookup. Okay, in organization, always remember this DNS lookup tool. Okay, it is actually MX toolbox. Okay, so you remember, you must try this DNS lookup tool. So what it does is, when you work in any organization, so you just need to provide the DNS domain name. So it, what it will do is, it will search for the entire world and it will give you the lookup. Okay, for example, domain name, let's say I'm going to give, let's say, to daddy.com. DNS lookup. Can you see? It is what it is doing. This tool is doing, like, it does a lot of things. And can you finally, it found go.daddy.com. It is a record, and the IP address, actual IP address is this one, 208.109. This thing, and the TTL, time to leave. So it like 10 minutes. DNS record publish, and result is DNS record found. Can you see? And your DNS hosting provider Akamai technology, and they have taken this public IP address from here. Okay, reported by Akamai. About super tool, can you see? They also check some more thing. Okay, they also check, like, check IP host name. In this record, you can see these all stuffs. You can test here, http any website. If you hosted any website, you just let's say, let me, okay, this is my old organization where I was working in Dubai. Okay, so when I said lookup, okay, can you see this? Amazon.com, they purchase it from Amazon. 52.17. This is a public IP address. Okay, and can you see this? Reported by Google Cloud Domain.com. They reported this, about this one. See, so this is MX toolbox, or you can just type in the Google DNS lookup. So you will find. So this tool is excellent. This is used for the monitoring purpose. This is used for the, even most of the organization, they use, first of all, they want to see what is this domain, how it look like, what is the public IP address, and all, who registered this. If suppose, if I put something .com DNS lookup, can you see what they are saying? DNS record public, no found. So you cannot find anything. So whatever, let's say youtube.com. Can you see youtube.com? So actually this is one of the server. You are seeing one of the server directly, where they have a record. They are saying youtube.com is actually the behind the IP address is this one. And this is again public IP address of youtube.com. Again, inside there will be NAT, and there will be another public, another private IP address to that particular server. Remember this one. See, right now you are seeing YouTube and this one. So actually you are seeing this IP address public. But after that, once you reach to the organization, there will be another private IP address hosted on that server. That server will be hosted on that private IP address. So there will be NAT service will be used there. Okay. So now what Amazon is offering here? Okay. So what they are saying is, you no need to go to any external vendor. You no need to go to any external like a tool. So let me just take a look here. Okay, so what they are saying, guys, please don't go here and there. Okay, so this is the AWS cloud. Okay, so you can create your own VPC. Under the VPC, you can create your own private subnet and public subnet. Let's say public subnet and private subnet. You can create your own IGW, your to connect to the external world from your cloud. Okay, like this you will connect it connected, and let's say this is your public subnet, public subnet, and this is your private subnet, right? And you host EC2s here under this subnet. Let's say this is your public EC2, this is your private EC2. EC2, I will write P, public. EC2 PR means private. Okay. Now, when the where you have a if you know about the VPC, so VPC you will have your own directory, CIDR. Let's say 10.20.0.0/16. You use this. You get some another. So here your private IP, your public subnet also you will get some IP address here. 10.20.10.10 something, and here 10.20.20.10 something. Okay, so your EC2 is hosted here, but and what will happen by default when you create any EC2 instance? Okay, so you will be get one DNS name. Okay, if you host any DNS any EC2, you will find their DNS name, IP address, private IP address, private DNS, private public IP address, public DNS. So you can notice there in your EC2 details, you will find that. So who is doing that? So what they are saying is we have a beautiful feature here, Route 53. Route 53. Okay, this is nothing but it is actually providing a DNS services. Okay, now you can create your own, you can create your domains here. Okay, then you can create records like xyz.com, internalportal.com, whatever. Under that domain you can create the records. Okay, and what will happen is whenever you create any EC2 instance, let's say domain you created xyz.com, xyz.com, this is the domain. Under that domain you created, let's say, some test, or I can say my web. So my web, so what, when you create this one, so actually from the internet, when the user access the internet, so they just need to type here myweb.xyz.com. So how simplify the process is, now see here, they no need to go any third party tools or anywhere. They are just directly coming to your Amazon. Once you come here, Amazon, within Amazon you have a service called Route 53. Route 53 will see the web, this web service is actually nothing but the public IP address. You no need to go and buy public IP address. You can take an elastic IP address and you can buy within from the AWS, and it will get mapped here, and once it come here, so it will send to your public server. See here how simplified it is. You no need. If you look at compare the previous image, it was like so many things was involved. But now see here, there is no net. Amazon will take care of this. There is no, you don't need to buy a public IP address. It is already there. You just need to use this Route 53 and host your services, host your website. Can you see how the simple process become here? Guys, any thoughts, any comment?
No.
You understand, right?
Yes, yes.
So they simplify, like you no need to go external. What they are saying, you just take our Route 53 service, host the domain, host the records, take the IP, public IP, and within AWS only you can do everything. You don't need to go external. So for the external world, for this user, they will just access this URL. That's it. Behind the scene, within AWS cloud. So this is what the Route 53 is. Okay. So if I take you, if you look at the Route 53 stuff, सलमान भाई है सो गए?
मैं हूँ भाई, वो कर्सर स्टक हो गया था मेरा।
Okay. नहीं कुछ कमेंट नहीं, कुछ नहीं. What's your thought on this process, this flow?
No, this is very easy and simplified.
Exactly. Okay, so let me go to AWS. Okay, I'm already here. AWS. So now Route 53. So there is service called, and where it is Route 53 you will see. If you look at here, just search here Route 53. Scalable DNS and domain name registration. Can you see this? Top feature: traffic flow, health check, hosted zone, domain name resolver. And guys, if I tell you, so there in the big organization there is a separate job for this. Okay, because these people actually the people who work on the web services, okay, who manage IIS, or who manage F5 GTMs, who manage multiple applications. So in the infrastructure there is a separate job for this, for particular technology. But here with the AWS, you are learning that technology actually. Hosting zone, there is separate job for another person. He create the zones, he create the DNS records and all. But here, as I told, this is a full stack engineer. You are creating VPC, you are creating server, you are creating code, you are creating DNS record, you are doing monitoring. See, all in one. So now see here, Route 53. If you look at here, what they are providing: DNS management, host zone, you can host the zone, traffic management, availability management, domain registration, you can do here. Okay, so if you look at here, registered domain, first of all you need to register your domain. Okay, but I'm not going to show you how to, because when I register the domain, can you see, it will cost $12. So let's Google. Can you see google.com? So what they will say, availability, they're checking the availability. No, sorry, Google is already there, right? Who are you? See, they are saying unavailable. Google.com is unavailable. Let me check something. Next gen, check. This is also not available. See, this is also occupied by someone. See, when you see .com, .net, .org, so what is this actually? So these are something called domain labels. See, EDU means education, GP means government. Okay, common means .com. These are some top level domains. Okay, so these are something like .net, .org. Can you see this UK and this stuff? This many domains are available, and whatever you say, see, $94. So the most common is let's .net. Let's try this one .net. Do we have? Check. See, unavailable. So if I use a name something, this is also not available. 123. It should be available. Can you see this? It is, this domain is available for me. Nextgen i123.net. So you know how my website will be. If suppose I want to host something, so my website will be something like this. My web. This is my server name, which is actually the IP. Then this is called a record, and then your domain. What is your domain? Nextgen i123.net. Can you see? Now this is your complete URL. And if the URL hosted on URL can be hosted on HTTP or HTTPS. HTTPS means more secure. So now this is your URL is ready. So this is how, who is making this URL? See, whatever we do, we just do the Google search. Let's say we want to do something. What is called flight booking. Okay, let's say Flipkart. So we just click here in the Google and we just go directly. But we never think about what is this actually. Flipkart.com. Can you see this? HTTPS. We just go and browse something banking related, SDFC something. SDFC net banking. We just go directly here and we connect here. But we never think about actually what it is happening. Can you see? And what is this domain? Domain name is sdfc.com. And then net banking is another service, and it is hosted on HTTPS. And can you see after that also something, some page is there. Your page is again redirect there. So if I similarly online Flipkart.com, can you see Flipkart.com is their domain. You cannot buy. They already purchased this one. Similarly, GoDaddy. If I go here, see GoDaddy.com. They purchased this one. Google.com. They purchase this one. So this, whatever you are saying, just try to imagine how many URLs we use per day. Okay, let's say Bollywood news. We just go here and we just click on. You just click on any of the times.com. Can you see this? Times.com. This is the domain, right? So these are the domains. So this is what the Amazon is offering. So Route 53 is something you are first, you need to buy the domain. So what will happen after buying the domain? So once you buy, if you go further, so you need to register your email address. So they will send you one link on your email address, your Gmail, whatever. So you need to say confirm. Once confirm, the after 6 hours something, some duration, your domain will get registered. First step is you need to register domain, and after that, once you register the domain, you can create n number of record there, like whatever, like xyz nextgen.com. See, this is one of my website. My another website can be anything, but the domain should be same, nextgen, because I purchased that domain. Nextgen i123.net. One second. This is what the domains are. Okay, if I go here, so the first thing you need to search this one. So I'm just canceling it. So you just need to confirm. Can you see? Once you register here and if you did not confirm your email, so your request will be till here only, pending request. And once you that URL in your email, then it will get registered and it will become in the green signal that okay, your domain is registered. Now you can go and start hosting the zones. You can create a record, you can create like c record, you can create cn name. So what are these terminology? These all terminologies are from another field. Actually this is one of the different technology where the the users, like they spend 10 years, 5 years, they are expert of this one. But now anyone, any new guy can also host the record, any new guy can do this stuff. So this is what the Amazon is, the full stack engineer: security, network, application, DNS, automation, code, S3 bucket, storage, everything. Can you see this? All the different thing one person is doing. So Amazon, learning Amazon, it is not easy. It is something like you are learning in entire infrastructure. Okay, so this is what the Route 53 is, and like I cannot register this, but I have some another account from where I can show you so like how the existing registered domains and how the naming convention come there. So I can show you, but the whole concept is this one. Concept is important. The DNS. Now the Route 53 is in your pocket. You can understand this and how it used. We will see that again. But as I told, this is again a separate technology. You need to like if you learn like there is a separate job for F5 GTM. So the people who take care of this A record, C record, CN name, DNS name, public host, this all stuff. This is a separate job in infrastructure. But as a Amazon, like if you're administrator, Amazon, and so you need to aware about this one. Route 53, where the Route 53, what are your registered domains, and whatever the registered domain you created, right? Your instance, your EC2 instance will get by default that registered domain. Now your this EC2 instance will get that nextgen i123.com and some name in the start and some that name. So this is your, you can host your public website, you can host your private website, doesn't matter, by using the Route 53. No need to pay, you just need to pay whatever the hourly charges and that registration charges, that's it. So this is all about the Route 53, and we will see some more stuff of Route 53 in from the another account. But here I cannot show you lab here. Why? Because it required some amount. Okay, so it is required some $10, $12 here, and then after that hosted zone, and you have to create some EC2s and test there. But I can show you that in my another account. Okay, not here. So today lecture was only the theoretical and the conceptual. So what you understand today here, you understand the DNS, you understand public and external and internal DNS, you understand the NAT, how the infrastructure DNS stuff is working, and how the cloud Route 53 is working. Okay, and what is actually the use, and you understand with the like MX tool, how here once you host your website, you can come and check here what IP address is given to you, and we understand like every URL will have some domain recorded now. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll continue with the stuff next.
Okay, sorry. So, Nadim bhai, hypothetically speaking, if I have to host my, say, like one of my applications, right, like Java or which is based on ASP.NET. So, what do we do? I mean, we put it on a server and then name that.
In the Route 50.
Sorry?
In Route 50.
So, the server will have a public IP address, right?
Yeah.
So, we need to map that public IP to the DNS somewhere.
Exactly. So here that this server public IP address, let's say this is your public zone, you will get public IP address. That public IP address you need to register here. You need to give the a record saying that this public IP address is need this name.
Okay, so you maintain that there. So when the
Yes,
user
yes.
pings that
Right,
myapps.xyz.com.
right. So the Route 53 will take care of that
Yeah.
resolver and
And if it is
conversion.
being hosted as a private, then we have to first do a VPN and then access it after you want it, correct?
Private, okay, private means okay. Okay,
Some
let's say
applications are
okay, your
private.
AWS is connected with your infrastructure like this. Okay, with the VPN service.
Your screen is closed. I mean,
Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay, let's say your AWS cloud is connected with the VPN to your infrastructure office. So from here, the people can access this private website. Yeah. So you can, but for the private also, you need to you need to create the a record here. So this Route 53 external and internal both DNS records it maintain. Okay.
per network, one DNS.
One network. No. You can keep multiple DNS.
I mean,
But
multiple networks
ideally,
in one DNS.
yeah, but ideally one only. But it is again there is no restriction. That's something.
So one will be the main DNS, primary DNS, and other will be the backup DNS, right?
Exactly.
But they do the same thing, follower.
Yes. And you know this Route 53, they have a replication also. Whatever you create here, let's say this is US East. So in US West also, if you have another region there, so they will do fast replication. Like whatever the records here, it will go. The same records will be here also. They will give full redundancy with this.
Hello.
Yeah. So we'll talk more on this topic again, but this is I'll stop here.